All right, guys. So this is my Dodge Magnum 2008 2.7. So I was having problems that whenever I would turn on the AC, my car would start shaking, and the problem got worse and worse. Where sometimes when I would park, the car would shake. And what I mean by shake, I don't mean that it just start like shaking horribly. It just means like it will like you could feel it like a little, like you felt it. Anybody who's experienced this knows what I'm talking about. You just feel like a little bit of a bump, like so. What I did was I don't trust mechanics anymore. I feel like mechanics are shit. Maybe I've just had bad experiences. So since this is an older car, I figured might as well practice with this one. So my first step was to do the air filter. I changed the air filter out. That didn't solve the problem. So then I started going deeper. I felt that since it was a problem with the AC, that maybe it was a problem with the air intake. It made sense. Air. I turned on the AC, probably part started shaking. So maybe it's the air intake. So I went to Mopar. I started searching engine parts. The diagrams. Started looking into it. About what could be the cause, and then after looking at parts and all that, I decided, you know what, let me take it apart. So I took apart this right here. This is the manifold. I believe it's the upper manifold. I took that out. Not that hard. Just remove these screws right here, and then there's one screw here. And this is a 10 millimeter. The one down there is a 13 millimeter. All these are 10 millimeter. So I had to take this. I had to take this out. Take that out. Take this out. These are also 10 millimeter. Disconnect the connectors. So this hose right here, this is not hard, real easy, man. Once you start doing it, you see how easy that is. Take this one out, pull the dipstick out of the way, just so I could see what's maybe something's going on in there that I cannot see. I bought a reader and all that, but I feel like the reader it can tell you what the problem is, but it won't tell you actually like go here, fix this. The reader will kind of tell you like a general idea where maybe you have to be a mechanic to go to that general area. So upon taking out the manifold, I saw this. This is called the AGR tube or whatever. I saw look how bent that is. So I figured, wow, maybe this is the problem right here. Maybe since it's crushed down the middle, when I turn on the AC, it's struggling to get the air through it. So I went to the junkyard, a U-Pull junkyard, U-Pull it, and I went and I found the car there. I removed this, I replaced it, which is this right here, which is right there. See right there, this right here. See the gasket is a little bit outside, but this is doesn't have to be like. It's not like these hoses where it has to be shoved in. That one just kind of like slides in. You don't have to put nothing around it. It's just kind of like a general slide in. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just enough. So I replaced that one, which is this one right here. I also um I also realized that I had never changed the spark plugs. So I went ahead and replaced all the spark plugs. Replaced the plasticky thingy that goes with the spark plug, which is this thing. I bought a set of six for $26. I bought the spark plugs. This requires six at around $3-4 each. So I figured might as well do that. And if that's not the problem, well, I just increased I did a tune-up by myself. And to replace the spark plugs, you have the three of them right here, but you got to remove this manifold to get down there, which the other three are below it. Now I went to mechanics, and mechanics were talking about $400-500 to replace it because of this stupid manifold. Oh, we're gonna remove that. We're gonna charge you more, and I was like, why? I felt like it was unnecessary. I could do it myself, and you can do it yourself. It's not hard. I mean, you just gotta have the right tools, and by right tools, I mean just buy yourself a magnetic, tray, a set of wrenches. These are all millimeters. I got this hard one in Walmart for like 25 bucks. You just need a set of millimeters. Also the sockets. This was like 20 bucks, and this is just extra that I just had. But basically, what you need is just this and a set of sockets, and you'd also need a 13 millimeter, which you don't really need, but there's some screws in there that you could use for this one right here. Um, what else? A long extension. I recommend this because it makes the job easier. And I bought this long wrench, but it was necessary. I didn't use it at all. I just overbought it, I guess. But that's all you need. And another thing that I did as well was all the connectors. I went ahead and cleaned all the connectors. So I bought this electronic cleaner at Walmart with a 3 4 bucks. So I went ahead and disconnected all the connectors, even for the spark plugs, and I cleaned it with that. All that. I went all around. Even these right here. I saw that, like, hey, might as well clean it. Since I'm taking this apart, might as well hit every joint. Clean this one, clean that one, clean this one. I mean, why not? You're taking it apart, might as well. My starter, I also hit it with this because I figured since it's electronic cleaner, might as well clean up the coil and all that, which is gonna do nothing but a good thing. Clean it up, more power goes through. You might see this orange thing. That was just my fault because I put in a long screw that drove right through it by mistake. So I just put a silicone sealant, which is like 4 bucks. It's a high heat silicone sealant, which means that instead of having to buy the actual gasket, you can just put that instead of the gasket, let it dry up a little bit so it's kind of like, dry up just a little bit enough so that way when you put your thing on top, it'll hold. So this gunk right here replaces gaskets. And so that way you don't gotta buy gaskets. Because even for this car, I took it to a mechanic called Joe's Mechanic to change my transmission pan. And the guy put those aftermarket gaskets, the plastic ones that we sell, and my oil started leaking immediately. So I'm thinking that this guy is smart, but he's not. So then I called the dealer and I tell him, hey, I need to replace the gasket for my transmission pan, and they tell me no, that one doesn't take a gasket. For that one, you have to use the gasket, which is this one that you squeeze out like a silicone gasket. They told me, and if that works for your transmission pan, then that can work for any gasket anyway, which might be actually better than a fucking gasket. So I did that, changed the spark plugs, changed that tube, started cleaning out all my electronic connectors. This air intake, I cleaned it out with acetone. Just see right here. You don't need to buy no carburetor cleaner, none of that. This acetone right here, and these rags, and I just started going into the holes everywhere, started cleaning it, and that's it. That pretty much did the job. After I did all of that, I put it back together. Um, And boom, look at that. It's working perfectly again. I got the AC turned on. I've been here for a while. No more shaking, no more nothing. It's working perfectly now. I also had this right here that was cracked on the side. And I was going to buy the box, but I figured with the $1 electrical tape, a thick one, a thick pack, which is this one, I just started wrapping it around, completely wrapping it around from top to bottom. You can see how much I wrapped it. And that solved that problem. So I basically gave it a tune-up. Basically, I also cleaned out my carburetor. I guess that's called the manifold or whatever. I cleaned that out with the acetone. I mean, they tell you to go buy this carburetor cleaner, and I guess it works. I mean, for parts where the acetone and your rag won't reach, maybe you can spray it in there. But really, all you need is just acetone and a rag, and you just go to work. I cleaned up I tried to clean out as much as the dust as I could from from the top because dry rot is real. I mean, if your engine's all dusty, then that could create a problem for your electronic system. So just go around and clean it with a rag like you would, your desk where you put your computer on. So I did all of that, and boom, look at that. It's working perfectly now. It's working smooth. The spark plugs were horrible in condition. So that's it. That did the problem. Like I said, no more shaking when I turn on the AC. Um, Everything's just gonna be beautiful now. So I wish you guys luck if you have that problem.